Welcome to Lioness Lifestyle Live.
So my name is Lindsay.
And my name is Cristie.
And my name is Ellie. And we are all eating a meat-based nutritious diet.
We will have discussions concerning women's health and their unique perspectives on keto and carnivore diets.
To discuss topics such as motherhood, aging, weight loss, pregnancy, mental health, and much more.
We hope you join us to Chew the Fat on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. See you then, lionesses.
And we're live. Hello, everyone. Woo! Welcome to Lioness Lifestyle Live. We are so excited.
Oh, and there's a child talking. This is what we love.
We always love those little voices.
We have a fifth guest here.
Yes, we do. And we are so excited to meet all of you this evening.
Definitely. And don't forget to put your questions down below for our awesome guest. And also we will be doing a giveaway later in the stream, but you can start entering now with the word roar in all caps. Just put it in the comments and we'll bring that back a little bit later.
Hey,
then Chris, you can talk about the giveaway a little bit more.
We will be giving away one of these mugs. It is a Lioness Lifestyle mug. I'll try to get it up close to my camera. Look at our cute little logo on there. So if you want to win a mug like this, please put roar in the chat and we will be doing that drawing in a little while. Hey, speaking of roaring, you guys, I think we have a roar of the week if somebody wants to pop that up there. But each and every stream, we're going to go back through the comments that people leave us after the stream is over. And you guys have left so many great comments. But after the stream, we always go and read them all. And here is the one we are featuring this week for our roar of the week. So it was Melissa Clark, 7141. And she said, my best non-scale victory is my under eye bags went way down within the first week. And they had been there for 12 years. Wow. Melissa Clark, 7141.
Yay. Non-scale victories.
That's an excellent roar.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's always good to see everybody's victories, scale and non-scale. Like both of those are awesome. Non-scales are more fun because it's not just a number, but yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And it's time to pop up our poll. Speaking of sharing with each other, so I'm going to pop up this poll. You guys know the drill. So there is the menti.com. Enter the code 3619-7526, or there's the QR code there. And our question this time is, if you could only eat one item for dinner for the rest of your life, what would it be? So I'm going to leave that up for a little bit. You guys pick, what would that item be?
Oh my gosh.
Let us know.
I think I would eat shrimp. And if I could do like a surf and turf, like shrimp or like a fish with like steak, that would be, but it's only one. Yeah, one
item. I think I'd have to go with like a ribeye steak. I mean, if I'm going to just have one item, I might as well make it the best.
Make it
Or
good.
a T-bone. T-bones are pretty good too.
Yeah.
What about you, Neah?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure.
It's so funny. I was about to say
Cristie
shrimp too, and then I was like, wait a minute, not for the rest of my life though. But I've really been into seafood and fish lately too. It's such a different
Shrimp is delicious.
flavor and such a contrast between all the red meat. So, but yeah, I'd have to go with burger patties because that's what I pretty much live on.
Yeah, burger patties. Those are
really yum. Yes.
The answers are starting
that's a good answer too. Burger
answers are starting to come in. So check it out. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing so we don't give away the whole thing there. But
that's so
yeah.
fun now. I love seeing that.
Yeah, it's fun when they pop in, huh? So at the end, we'll show that one more time and you guys can see how it turns out. We will also be popping that up throughout the show, like the Menti, the website and the code to go ahead. You can still go ahead and answer throughout the show.
Okay, perfect. So Neah, we would love to get to know you better. We know that you are a carnivore and you're a mom and you make absolutely amazing videos diving deep into why we deserve to eat this way, why we deserve to take care of ourselves. And we would love to know why you choose to eat this way and your story, basically.
Thanks. Yeah. And thanks for having me on to discuss all this with you guys. It's really cool to be here. My story is kind of long. It takes place I guess my health journey is rather long, not necessarily my carnivore story, but I suffered from chronic digestive problems. Mainly was the thing that got my attention the most since I was a teen. And then other things just kind of stacked onto that as the years went on. I've had eczema, really, really highly sensitive skin, issues with psoriasis coming up, and then not really understanding where it's coming from or what to do about that. I've also had different type of mood. I wouldn't say disorders necessarily, but just struggled with things mood related at different periods in my life too. And I noticed that nutrition had a big impact. So when I would eat different diets and experiment, I would notice pretty drastic changes in a lot of things. Energy, fatigue, brain fog were a lot of the other things that really wanted to hang on for a long time. And so I kind of started experimenting with diet in my early 20s, and I started with the plant-based kind of thing because for a number of reasons. I was reading some things that recommended that based on my blood type, and then also that's sort of the thing that you think of right away when it's, what's the healthiest diet? Well, it must be low fat, lots of fruits and lots of vegetables, grains, whole grains, all that kind of stuff. The stories we've all been told about what's the healthiest way to eat. And so I definitely started out with that paradigm as far as getting healthy, but I realized very quickly that that was not working for me, and it was actually making the majority of my symptoms much worse. And so I kind of went on this journey of just eliminating different things and doing research along the way and looking on the internet and reading books and forums and all that kind of stuff. But it's really been like a hyper personal journey for me, not just nutrition wise, but dealing with my mood and my drive for life and my passion for things that I'm interested in, and all those things were connected kind of along this whole journey. And so when I found Carnivore, I had basically just been eliminating things, and I was down to pretty much just eating a giant salad of organic greens and some olives, tomatoes, cucumbers, and then meat and some fats. And one day I realized, hey, when I don't eat any of the salad, I just, grab some chicken on the way to work and snack on that, or I just eat some steak by itself, or I just eat a plain burger patty with nothing on it. Nothing seems to happen to me. And that's kind of when the light bulb went off, and I thought, maybe meat's the only thing I can eat. Like maybe that is all, I can tolerate right now. And then this was, I think, 2018 or so. And then I started seeing people online pop up like Michaela Peterson and Sean Baker. And I think Sean Baker's appearance on Joe Rogan was some time right around in that same time period. And so I, just a minute, Boop Boop. I realized that was a thing that other people were doing. And I had found this blog called Zero Carb Zen, I believe is the name of it. And it was the story of a woman who had a very similar story to mine and identified with so much of what she had suffered through and all the experiment that she had done, eating weird mono diets and all this kind of stuff. And then she was carnivore. And so I thought, okay, this is a thing, I'm going to jump all into this and just cut out the remaining vegetables that I was eating. But alongside of this, I'd also kind of struggled with drinking too much and alcohol. I've come from the restaurant industry. I was a bartender and waited tables for years and years. And so it's, it was partly a coping mechanism for me for mood and emotional reasons. But it was also part of the culture of where I worked. It was just, you get done with work, you party, and that's, you go to bed and get up and do it all again. And so that was something I continued to do during my first round of carnivore. And then I got pregnant. And so that changed everything. Obviously, I quit drinking, but I kind of went back towards that. I wanted that comfort from somewhere else, basically, because alcohol was the only thing I had left in my life that I used for comfort. And so when I didn't have that anymore, I kind of started going back to the foods. I also had, meat aversion in my first trimester, and almost to everything else, really almost all food grossed me out. And so I really struggled with just that shift of feeling like I just finally made it a few steps forward, and now I'm like 10 steps back again. I just, you're always tired. Everything makes you sick. Everything smells terrible. And I don't have my comfort anymore that I had relied on. And so pregnancy was really a tough thing. Obviously I'm extremely grateful for my little girl, and I wouldn't change a thing, but that kind of sent me back health-wise a little bit. And so over the last few years, I've been working my way back to low carb and trying to find a way that works for me now. And I've quit drinking when I started Carnivore again this year. So it's been, I think I just passed 80 days. And so, yeah, it's definitely different this time without that, and in a positive way for sure. And so that's kind of where I'm at now.
That's amazing. So you're more low carb, or are you more carnivore? Sorry, I don't think
I'm carnivore now. I was working my way back to, eating at least lower carb, keto. Right. And then I think probably about April or May this year, we moved to Dallas, Texas area. So, adjusting to a new state, new city, new house, new life. And so I was like, this is the time for me to kind of, cut out any of the processed stuff I was eating and kind of wean myself back in. And then August was when I went full carnivore again and quit drinking.
Well, that's awesome.
Congratulations on your sobriety and feeling so good and fueling your body the proper foods. That's absolutely amazing. This is why we asked you to be here, because you always inspire others with your channel. At least I know that I am, and these ladies too. We noticed how you do a lot of like yoga in your videos, and why did you choose yoga, and why do you use that as a form of like expressing yourself? And we would love to know more about that.
Thanks. Yeah. It's interesting you say express yourself, because that's something I've come to realize relatively recently when I've been putting more of it in my videos. And that's intuitive that you picked up on that, because that's something I never really thought of it as a form of expression before, maybe until the last month or so. I've been doing yoga since I was probably 23 or 24. And I started, back then taking in-person classes, and I felt like I just had the best teacher ever. She taught really, I would say, advanced classes, but there were always modifications for people, but it was so challenging, and it was not at all what I expected when I started doing it. I thought it was like, oh, it's just easy stretching, very, yin all the time and breathing and stuff. But I was so challenged physically, and I had an active job. I was on my feet, 10, 12 hours a shift with really no rest, always moving, lifting things and stuff. And so to go into that and feel like, wow, I really have something to work up to, that was something that kind of got me addicted to it. And so I took in-person classes for about 3 years, and then I moved kind of out to the middle of nowhere in a different state, and I didn't really have access to any in-person classes. So I started looking online, and I found a teacher who had, ironically, very similar like style of teaching, and her voice was very similar. And so I kind of fell in love with that person and her classes. And so I've been doing her classes for probably, oh gosh, this was maybe 2016 or 2015 until now. And it's always been something that I've come back to, no matter whatever chaotic stuff is going on in my life, whatever's going on with my health. That's been one of the most consistent things that I know works for me. I know I can work through not just physical pain, like I need to, work on my hip that's tight, or my back is sore, or my neck hurts, but it's, emotions and stress and relaxation and trying to find a balance again. And so, yeah, it's just been I found a lot of growth in multiple levels of who I am through yoga. And then now combined with with this diet, and when my body starts to actually feel better and my digestion functions and everything like that, I get so much more out of that practice. And so I've thought about trying to teach classes, but I've signed up for 2 yoga training, teacher training, programs over the years. And I've oddly enough had like very weird life events get in the way of attending those. And so I kind of just feel like using it more now, like you're pointing out, as just a way to express my creativity, or, how I'm getting in touch with my body versus teaching from a, more academic or however other standpoint. So I hope that answers the question. Sorry, that was long.
No.
So I actually put that question in there for us to ask you because I've been watching some of your videos, and super basic. I just learned a few super basic poses, like the warrior poses, tree pose, like that, because I do those with my students. So I'm a teacher. I teach 5th grade. And so at PE, we go out there, and first, it's funny because they think it's going to be easy, but then they're like, this is hard, and they're falling over, but then pretty soon they get centered, they find their balance. And then and just with those few basic poses, I find when we go into class after doing that they are just a lot more calm. And then by the end of the year, we have them teaching, like we'll take them out and we'll have them teach the 1st graders. So the 5th graders are teaching the 1st graders, just those basic poses. But when I saw what you were doing, I was inspired. I'm like, oh, I wonder how I can up my game with this, or, learn more about this. Because what is that? You have like a big, I don't know what to call it. Like it's bars, or I don't know what they are, but it's a setup that you have. It's big. What is that? Is that for yoga?
It is, I actually got it for aerial yoga. Okay. Right after I had my daughter, that's something I'd always wanted to get into. And I've taken some classes that had different places I've lived that had studios. But again, I never have lived anywhere long enough or committed to it to go in person so much. So I invested in this, and it's, a steel trapeze basically, and you can hang your yoga hammock from it. Right now I have rings to do kind of assisted pull-ups, almost like TRX style strength training with that. You can hang a heavy bag from it. You can, even do pull-ups or something off the top bar. So it's been pretty cool. And then you can just break it down, and it goes in a bag, and you can go put it outside and, do aerial outside.
So cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I once took an aerial yoga class. That was really fun. Just one time though.
And it's really hard.
It is. You have to have so much upper body change. I don't have that. So.
Neither do I. Don't feel bad. I don't think I would be able to do it.
We have a question from someone watching Ketovore. She wants to know, what are some of the foods that make up your daily meals?
I am pretty simple. Right now I eat, I'd say 80% of my diet is ground beef, 80-20 ground beef. I like just burger patties. Sometimes I will put, I'm really trying to stay away from dairy right now. Every once in a while I'll put a little piece of cheese on there if I'm making some like that for my little one. But I would say that's a good 80%. I've been feeling like I'm craving salmon, some of that good omega-3 lately. So I will once or twice a week have a fillet of salmon with the skin on. I like to, cook up the skins nice and crispy and eat those. Some shrimp, maybe once a week. Not even every week necessarily, but, and then bacon. I would say I still pretty much have bacon for breakfast. I don't eat any eggs. Oddly enough, the first round of carnivore, I ate a lot of eggs, and I only ate the yolks. I cut out the whites because I felt like the whites were potentially giving me skin issues. And I was eating really high quality eggs that first time. And now I'm just getting like the best deal I can on eggs. And so I just never seem to crave them, oddly enough. And so I don't know what that is, but yeah, I'd say beef, bacon, some butter, and some salmon.
Okay, so it sounds like you are gotten really in tune with your body, and you're able to like listen, and like your body says no eggs, thank you. That's awesome. You mentioned skin issues. Do you have skin issues? Can you tell us like what have those been, and has Carnivore helped you with those?
Yeah, so I've had really sensitive skin since, being a kid, I can remember every time I would exercise, like I would always flush really easily. If something would touch my skin, it's like I'd immediately get kind of a rash or redness, or things would irritate my skin really easily. And then I've kind of always had a little bit of eczema on and off, like the backs of my arms and like the sides of my thigh or upper leg area would seem like there would always be these little red bumps. I'd say that's 90% gone. And then the psoriasis, that is still confusing me. And it's been such a weird journey with that. The first time I ever got psoriasis was like an entire body flare. I had spots all over my body when I was in my early, maybe like 23, 24-ish. And I'd been living the party lifestyle, not eating well. And then, like I mentioned in my really long healing journey video, I would go on these periods where I was so afraid to eat and so frustrated that everything would make me sick or constipated or have diarrhea that I just would not eat for extended periods and kind of get into this restriction issue. And so that, oddly enough, was a phase where I was restricting a lot, and I was basically living on, alcohol and some Doritos every 5 days type of a thing. And then when I realized, okay, I need to, pull back on the partying and everything like that, that's when like my body blew up and I had all these spots.
Wow.
And that's when I went to the dermatologist, and I was so freaked out, and she gave me steroid cream, but then whispered to me after all the medical students left that I should get out in the sun and that was going to help my skin. So I did those two things, and then it went away, and I didn't have any for years after that. And I was still eating carbs. I was still drinking. I was still, trying to eat whole foods, and I was experimenting with diet, but I was definitely not perfect. And then since then, it'll be like, I'll get 1 or 2 spots that just hang out with me for like 18 months. And no matter what I seem to do, it doesn't affect it dramatically. They'll kind of almost completely heal and then flare up again. And then the first time I went carnivore, I had no psoriasis. But I hadn't really been having a big issue with it before. And then after pregnancy, I had one on my scalp for a long time, and then it just magically disappeared. And then, sorry.
No, I totally understand the whole skin issue. Just wanting to feel as healthy as you can, but it's one thing to like know you are not well on the out or in the inside, but then it's also reflecting on the outside. That can be so hard. So it's like, I just want to get there. I just want to heal, because I have rosacea. And so that's something I've been trying to heal with the carnivore diet, and it's definitely getting better, but I'm like being impatient with it.
Yeah, I've had very similar, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I think that's normal to feel impatient when you're like, I already made the decision. I should already be healed right now. I'm making the decision to be healthy, so I should be healed already. I get it. Anyway, what were you going to say, Neah?
Right. And that's very similar to how I feel with the skin issues too, because I've had there's a spot on my knee, and then like a tiny little one on my other leg, and then I've had one like right in the middle of my forehead that looks like a big zit, but it's just, this super dry, red, irritated patch for probably about a year. And then ever since I started going back low carb, it's gotten better, but I've also been out in the sun a lot more, because I knew that was something that really sped up the process and healed when I had that huge flare up earlier in life. And so I don't really know. I mean, I think diet definitely helps, because it's lowering the inflammation. And I've had very similar like rosacea type symptoms where it'll just be red, like all along here, and just so easily irritated. Anything irritates it. And I find the sun helps with that too. So I just discussed this in the last video I posted, how I'm starting to see a possible connection between like different points in my cycle and when especially this spot on my knee.
That's great. I
No,
usually
yeah,
just burn in the sun.
So sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Um,
Well,
So
Ellie,
it's like
that
it
just
comes
means you
and
need to go
goes,
out in
you
the
know?
sun more often.
Yeah. I used to
That
burn in
means
like
you need
2
to go out in the
minutes
sun more
flat
often.
in the sun, but now I can go 10, 15 minutes before I start to burn. It's kind of crazy to me.
Ellie, have you been out in the sun recently to test it to see if you still burn? Because you eat a lot more meat, and people seem to not burn as much when they're eating meat more often.
Right, carnivores don't get sunburn, right? That's what they say.
Yeah, that's what Carrie always
since-
says. Oh, I dropped my headphones.
Since I dislocated my knee a couple of months back in May, I finally am starting to go on walks, and so with the kids, because I feel like strong enough and like comfortable enough. So I usually wear a big hat, and so I haven't had any sunburn, but it also could just be, it's been too few of a time going out and I have the hat on, but
Right.
I'm nervous of just like exposing my face because it's like getting better, but maybe it'll help. I'll try it. Definitely. I'll take your
Yeah,
advice.
it might be worth a try.
Mhm.
What do you think, Neah?
Yeah,
Do you think it'll help her rosacea?
I mean, I definitely have to be careful with my face more. My face would always burn, even when nothing else would on my body. And so I've always I'll usually bring a hat. And then when I feel like, there's been enough here, I'll cover it or turn away so that, it's not directly on my face. But I mean, I feel like it has helped. I really do. Just not overdoing it. It's so funny because I grew up in Wisconsin and I was always quite pale and I would burn immediately and would never tan. And then I moved to Florida and I lived in Florida for about 8 years. And I remember thinking, oh, I'm just going to be a lobster like the entire time I'm here and I can't tan. But my skin just kind of adapted to it over time. And then I don't think I was really ever very low carb while I lived there, but in the next place I lived after that, I noticed that was when I was in my first round of carnivore, and I noticed a major difference then that I could tolerate like unlimited sun basically and not burn unless I was, out all day. But so, I wouldn't go 0 to 60 super fast, but I would definitely try it little by little.
Oh yeah, for sure. So we have this question from JC Jameson, and she's asking, how do friends or family react to your carnivore diet or the fact that you don't drink? Does your partner follow a similar lifestyle, and your kids too?
Yeah. So I would say like most people, it's interesting because I'm kind of in a whole different realm now than I was when I was working and in the restaurant and everything. And we've been moving a lot. And so I'm kind of, as far as friends go, I would say I don't really have any friends like that I'm going out with on a regular basis. You know what I mean? Like I don't have like in-person friends. So
Big family.
I'm putting in effort to making some, in the new area that we're in. But so it's really just been like me and my little one and then my partner Ben. And so he's definitely pretty low carb. He still works in restaurants. He's a sushi chef. And so he has to do tastings and things here and there and kind of be
some rice here and there.
And different sauces and garnishes and things like that. And so
that would be a job I would
he's
love.
Not full carnivore, but he definitely is eating lower carb now than ever. And same for the little one. I mean, that's so hard because everybody wants to give her cookies, and we'll be like in the elevator at our building here, and a little kid will be like, here, have some of my Skittles. And it's so sweet and they want to share, but it's like, but I don't want my kid to eat Skittles. You know what I mean? So that's really hard. I find in social, the social situations with her. And of course she is going to want to eat it. And so it's like, well, what do I do? Be the mean mom that, slaps the other kid's hand away or something. So I find that a little bit challenging sometimes, but yeah, I'd say we're all on the same page as a family for sure. And then the others in my life, other family members and stuff, they all pretty much know that that's how I eat again now. And I mean, nobody's negative about it. I think,
Oh, that's great.
you know, yeah, they're
Yeah,
very
that's
open
awesome.
to what works. So,
All right.
Okay.
So Dana
I'm
Terry
all-
says, I'm a little over a week in to being back on keto. Well, more Ketovore. Yeah, you
Yay!
did Ketovore.
Yay! Meat-based keto. Let's go.
Good. All my aches and pains are gone, and I already have so much more energy. So thrilled. So Dana, can I just share with you one of my
Yay!
carnivore epiphanies that I had recently? And it's been gone for a while, so I don't know when it went away. But I was talking to another friend of mine, and it's like when I used to get up in the morning first thing and be walking down the hall towards the kitchen, like my ankles would crack.
Ouch.
Like I mean, it didn't hurt, but it was audible, like loud. They don't do that
Right.
anymore. And I don't know when that disappeared, but it kind of reminds me.
It's so funny. It's so funny to think about that. Like I'll have just like realizations during these streams. Sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I don't have that anymore. Because I just thought about it. And like when I would go up and downstairs, my knee would just pop constantly. And it just doesn't do that anymore.
Doesn't do that anymore. So
Interesting.
that reminded me,
Fun.
Dana, of what you said. So thank you for helping me remember that little non-scale victory. No more cracking
Yeah.
in the morning.
The list keeps getting longer and longer, right? As we
I
continue.
know.
I start writing them down because I always
Yeah.
I think about them and then I forget. I need to make a real list.
Yeah, I always just
Yeah,
remember the big ones, and then I'm just like, oh wait, I used to have tinnitus. That's gone too. Like I totally I realized that when we were talking with Lauren last episode.
Yeah,
And I was just like,
tinnitus is
oh
no
my
joke either.
pretty bad.
That's amazing.
that's very
Oh,
cool about
yeah.
the tinnitus. I know a couple
Yeah.
people that have that, and I've never experienced it, so I can imagine what that would be like, but I imagine that's so incredibly annoying.
It's gotta
Oh
be.
yeah, it's like mine
sure.
was
Yeah.
like you would hear like blood, like the blood flowing to like that kind of sound, like ugh, it's awful. I
Well-
went to a concert.
Well, and
when
like
I
this.
was
Oh, sorry.
younger,
Keep going.
No, I was just gonna say I went to a concert and my ears totally got blown out. And then after that, and I was also, 240 pounds and not taking care of myself. And so like after that, I had that tinnitus. And like if I laid this way, I would hear the blood or just in general, but like even more so if I, obviously constricted that area. But that's gone. And I'm just like, oh yeah. It's just so funny.
That's
Well,
gnarly.
yeah, that's awesome that you don't have that anymore, because that would just be the worst. Like I feel like with like the aches and pains, like the Ketovorian says, Gonian. I can't say that. It's too small.
Oregonian, I think.
Becky.
Ketovorian. Thank you. My brain is not functioning on all levels right now. It's been a long day. But she says that inflammation does get better, and I can feel that, maybe not today in my brain, but in a lot of other places, my aches and pains do feel better than they used to. I don't have as much horrible back pain. It's just there's so many good things. But yeah, I just wanted to highlight that comment for a second. She's great.
Yeah.
I think she's coming on later, actually, isn't she?
I know. I don't remember
Another
what
day?
date, but yes, we're going to talk to Becky
don't remember.
sometime soon.
Yeah, for sure.
Do we have any other questions from the audience?
No, well, I'm sure there are. I haven't looked, but make sure to comment the word roar in all caps down below. That's okay. Make sure to comment the word roar in all caps down below, like Boo Boo 54 did. And she's also looking forward to more information. But I would say maybe just do just roar, just in case the giveaway tool doesn't catch it. So
Yeah,
maybe try and do just roar as one comment in all
so
caps.
Google 54, if you're still in here, do that again. Just put the roar.
Yeah.
The reason I put that other one up there is because I think there was a question in there at the end. So she said,
Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
I just didn't. I wasn't looking. Neah, I've been following you for a while. How different it is living in a brick and mortar now, and which do you prefer? And then she loved watching the bus videos.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. That's cool to see that you're still around after those. I mean, because I we don't do it anymore, and not posting about that. So
Life changes. There's stages.
Well, I mean, there's definitely pros and cons to both. And I'll say about the bus, our baby was born in March of 2020, right as, everything was beginning, with COVID and everything. And that, just to put it in a condensed form, that changed a lot of things for us and kind of threw us into a lot of chaos. And so that was kind of the security plan, was, building a home that we could move and travel in and have no matter what else happened. And so that was, so at the time, I really enjoyed it, and it was a great experience. It was very hard. And I was kind of alone doing it because Ben was, had to be close to his work, and, there's just a lot of complicated things involved. And so it was a very difficult time, but it was, again, sort of an experience that I feel like I was destined to have in a way. It taught me a lot about myself and resilience and persistence. And so now we're not doing that anymore. We still have it, but it's in storage, and it's going to be just kind of like a regular RV camper now. So yeah, having electricity, running water, hot showers on demand is fabulous. And, I still will like go take a hot shower at night and be like, this is like, thank you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so happy that this exists. And it just makes you think a lot about how people had to live before we had all of these conveniences, and how ultra comfortable and convenient our lives are in comparison to, the past. And so, yeah, definitely a lot of learning, but I'm happy that we're in an apartment now, and I can do a lot more with my time than just kind of surviving. So
That's so cool.
Yeah,
I mean, I've always thought about living in a like a van or like a bus. Sounded really cool, but it also sounded really hard. So it's really cool that you've actually done that.
Yeah, there were great points and very difficult times. And, the longer you do it, the more you're like, it's just so small, it's very small.
Are we there yet?
Yeah. But it was also awesome.
So when we've been watching your videos, I know I noticed for sure that you do a lot of, like, you share a lot of your wisdom with your viewers, the wisdom that you've kind of acquired, along the way. And you really encourage the viewers to strive for their best with the carnivore diet. But we want to know if there's any individuals who inspire and motivate you in your journey.
Oh, wow. Definitely. I mean, I've been following, I guess, in the carnivore space. Laura Spath is somebody who I love. She's so down to earth, and she keeps it real. And I know she experiments, and she talks about like different things she's tried, but she's not very trendy as far as jumping on, like 2 sticks of butter, and now I'm doing sardines, and now I'm doing all that, I feel like she's not very clickbaity type of thing. And I get it. Like, that's the world we're in. And, we all creators want to, connect with people and have people watch their videos and stuff. But I just admire her for that. And obviously her weight loss story. And I love that she kind of takes it one day at a time. That's really been inspiring for me too, especially with drinking, because again, I was so emotionally like, how am I going to deal with when I'm super frustrated, or I'm exhausted and I just want to relax at night after I put my kid to bed? How am I going to replace that? And then that, I find like her words coming into my mind sometimes. It's like, well, just don't drink tonight. You know what I mean? Like, just don't go buy wine tonight. Like, just get through tonight and figure it out. And then tomorrow, who knows? But so I found that very inspiring. And then, Dr. Chafee's one of my favorites too. I feel like I have, I just like the way he thinks, and I like the way he processes information and delivers it too, and incorporates ideas from all different, areas of evidence to, make his presentations and stuff. So I really, I'm always inspired by that to learn more. Obviously, Dr. Barry's one of the first people that I binged all of his content, you know, and again, just very practical, common sense, down to earth, simple, like this isn't rocket science. And I mean, you could kind of argue in some ways it is, because we're all biohacking our own issues and we all have different histories and all that kind of stuff. So some days it feels like rocket science, but you know, I think so many of the leaders in this community really just make it easy to try this way of eating and make it seem not as intimidating and not as scary as it might be coming from, you know, the conditioning that we've all been under to eat, especially as women. I think, you know, it can be really hard to think, oh, I can eat pretty much as I want to, or, you know, can tolerate, or I can be satisfied, I can be full, and that's okay. And it's not, you know, fat is good for me. And so just kind of following all these different people and getting that drilled into your head as much as possible, it's very encouraging. So yeah, just off the top of my head, you know, those are some of the people I really like
for sure.
I love them.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say,
you're good.
I think like 90% of it, like what you said, it isn't rocket science. 90 to 95%. It's like eat your meat, eat your fat, done, right? And then the other 5%, maybe you're like Ellie and you have rosacea. And then you might have to do some rocket sciencey tweaks, right? Or some N=1, taking things and, you know, leaving them out just to see how your own body's going to react to that. So I kind of think it's like the majority of it is just get in there, do meat-based, right? And then if you still have some symptoms that you want to work on, there might need to be some more experimenting done. So I think you hit that right on, because it is kind of a little bit of both in some ways. Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah,
I think that's really cool. What resonated with me was the Laura Spath quote too, where she's just like, I can choose to not eat a donut today, or a slice of pizza, or an entire pizza. I can choose that today. I can't always decide for tomorrow, because you never know. Maybe we'll fall into a famine and all the meat supply will be gone, and you just never know what's going to happen tomorrow. But every day you can choose. Each day I can choose to eat this way, as long as you have the means and everything. But like, it's so good. I love that one. And then I also really like, I loved Ken Berry too. He was awesome. He was pinnacle in my carnivore journey. Now Ketovore. Neah helped me in the Ketovore department. But,
I love her channel too, and I love that she, you know, shares stuff about what she's feeding her kids, and now there's a bunch of more things popping into my head. Judy Cho's another one who I really, I mean, every time I hear her talk about her story, I start crying. It's just so, you know. So crazy what you know what we go through, and then kind of the rock bottoms that you hit before you're like, okay, something has to change. And so I love her approach too. It's very you know, it tickles my the analytical side of my mind, so I like her videos too.
So you must like doing YouTube for that reason too. The analytical part is really cool. But yeah, I think we all deserve to feel healthy, and it's just it's easier than you think, and there are ways to do it. You just have to find the right things, which is kind of a reason why we are on here as women, trying to promote a healthy diet that isn't starving yourself and keeping lettuce as your main source of food, because it shouldn't be. That would wreck my stomach, I'm not gonna lie. But has the carnivore diet influenced your ability to manage your stress and maintain a sense of calm in your daily life? Neah?
Yeah, I would say 100%. It's funny because so much of that, and again, all this ties in with alcohol, and that, you know, I'd use that to manage all this stuff. So it's really hard to, so sorry.
No, you're good.
Oh, she's all good. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen one more time. I want people to join hopefully more people will do the poll. So let me just share that poll with everybody again. If you didn't get to see it, you're going to see a few of the people's answers so far. So the question is, if you could only eat one item for dinner for the rest of your life, what would that item be? And so far we have people that have said ribeye, we've had bacon, we've had chuck roast, and we've had ground beef. If you guys want to chime in, we would love to fill out our word cloud a little bit more. We've only got those 4 responses. You can go to menti.com and use the code 3619-7526, or just scan the QR code if you've got your phone. Scan that and it'll take you right to the poll.
I still don't know what I would
Yeah,
eat.
I'm excited to see that.
I can't decide.
I don't know. I think the answer of ground beef patties is not the
Yeah.
worst one. That's just so easy.
I think that's the most practical for sure.
Yeah,
that's what I said last time. I was like, my favorite food is like ground beef, because then you can make burgers, you can make meatballs, you can make a meatloaf.
Yeah,
You
that's
just,
true. You
you
can
know,
make a
chop
lot
it
of
up.
variations of things for sure.
Absolutely true. Someone's chimed in with lamb. We've also had beef patties.
Ooh,
Add to that ground
there
beef.
you
So ground beef or beef patties, and then lamb.
Mhm. Perfect. That
Leave
looks
it
that, I love this little diagram thing. It's so fun to see this.
It is fun. I like watching the answers appear. Okay, I'm going to take this down, but you guys can still join in anytime. And if any more answers pop in, I'll be sure to show you guys before the end of the stream what the final word cloud looks like. So if anyone else wants to respond, go ahead and do that.
Yes, and also while we're hanging out talking, there are only 13 entries into our mug giveaway. If Cristie wants to hold that up for me, it's awesome. We're so excited to give this mug away, and so make sure to comment in the comments down below this comment, which JC already commented, and I'm trying to show it. Just roar just like that in the comments. Make sure you comment down below to get entered into this giveaway. There's only 13 entries right now, so keep going.
Good chance.
Come on.
That I will
Yeah,
be
pretty good chance
a
with only
mug.
13 entries.
Yep.
But Dana is saying that ground beef is so versatile, just like Ellie was talking about, and that it's just, I like ground beef a lot. I had him for dinner yesterday, and it was so good. Just made these really flat patties.
Yeah. So one of the things about ground beef that I like is that it is so cost effective. And Neah, I just watched one of your videos where you like broke down some of the costs, and you talk about that a lot, like how affordable, because the people are like, I can't afford carnivore, but you talk about how affordable it is. Can you like elaborate a little more about that?
Sure. Yeah, I think, of course, everyone, you're going to have to start and like look at exactly what you're spending right now. Because I think a lot of times we get used to what we're buying and the little things we get, the coffees and the snacks at the gas station and all that kind of stuff. We don't really realize exactly how much we are spending to begin with. And then we think, oh, well, adding all this meat, it's so expensive. But when you actually start cutting out things that are expensive and eating out as much and doing all that stuff, you know, you can save a lot of money just by doing that, and then use that money to spend on higher, you know, more nutrient dense food for you and your family. So, and then obviously buying in bulk. I do a lot of, I shop at Walmart a lot and Sam's. I'm thinking about getting a Costco membership though, because I've been hearing, you know, like they have raw cheese and maybe some better deals on like grass-fed ground beef and stuff than Sam's. At least that's what I've been hearing. So I might switch over to that. But what's that?
I was just saying they have a lot more options for cleaner ingredients for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
That's right. I get a lot of my keto foods too, like the almond flour and stuff when I need that, because it comes in bulk and then I don't have to buy it nearly as often, which is awesome.
Yeah. And we don't have, I just have like a normal refrigerator and a small freezer. I don't have a chest freezer or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you could even do better and save more money if you have the space to buy, you know, like Thanksgiving, I was thinking about, I could buy, you know, 4 turkeys or 3 hams or something and freeze them if I had the space, or the, what's the prime ribs or something like that, things that go on sale at different times of the year. So there's all kinds of ways to save money. And I do shop sales too. And like Ben, he likes the steaks more. I don't really ever eat steaks. I'm honestly just happy with my burger patties, but we found in our area that I think it's Tom Thumb here, but it's also they're all owned by the same people, and then they're under different brands in different states, but they have sales on steaks all the time. We've been getting some New York strips for like $7.99 a pound lately, which is pretty good, and in the family packs. So you just got to watch sales. I have, accounts at all the grocery stores, so I can just run in, and then if it says like limit 2, then Ben will buy 2 and I'll buy 2, and we'll just split up at the checkout line, and and each buy 2 with our different accounts. So there's all kinds of little ways to get deals and save money. And I'm finding too that I eat less than I did when I was eating salads and cucumbers and peppers and olives and all these other just salad ingredients that I don't have to buy now or throw away
salad
when they go
doesn't
bad.
fill you up.
No. Yeah. And it
not in the
makes me
same
bloated,
way, at least, and
feel tired and have headaches. And
yeah, the salad that I have is like, I'll make like these Ketovore, basically tacos, and then I'll put like a little shredded lettuce on top, and that's like it. I can't do like a full-on blown salad. That would just.
She just did those the other night. She sent us pictures. They look delicious.
They were so good.
The taco shell was like cheese. She made it out of cheese, and then and then she had the beef on there.
More cheese than I should eat, but it was delicious. So I was okay with it.
Sour cream, was there sour cream on there too? And then a little bit of lettuce and a little bit of tomato on the tippy top. That Ketovore
sour cream.
Ketovore taco.
Yeah,
really good.
You could add some avocado if you like that. Devin does not like that, my husband, so I don't usually buy those. They're delicious though. I like avocado.
Dana said she had. Oh, I was going to read.
No, you're good. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I didn't see that you had that up.
No, she just. I had it up for a while because Neah said she had ground beef, or she likes the beef patties.
Oh yeah.
Neah said she had ground beef for lunch today and steak and eggs for dinner. Only way it would have been better is if she had some bacon as well.
Bacon does make everything better. Ooh, that would be good on tacos too. I'm like, bacon.
Put some bacon.
Bacon's good on everything. I buy those like bacon crumbles and stick that on everything just from Costco to another Costco thing. I tried having lettuce in a taco bowl last night. Ugh. I don't know who said that.
Wasn't me that time. I didn't do it.
I didn't do that one either. That's okay. Hello. I might have hit something too. Who knows? Hello, ladies, and all in the chat. That's from Renee from No Insanity. Hi.
I'm going to put that other one. Oop. I was going to put that other one back up for you.
That was me. You hit the go back, Cristie. Do it again.
Okay, so this was low carb carnivore. I tried having lettuce in a taco bowl last night. Ugh, it was so bad. I think she meant I can't do the lettuce anymore. I often wonder that I haven't had any lettuce since June. So now it wasn't bothering me. Like it didn't make me sick, but I'm like, more ribeye, please. It wasn't because it was hurting my stomach. But now I wonder if I went back and ate some, if I would have a bad reaction.
Yeah, that's how I get my husband to eat the more carnivore / ketovore meals, is by doing those more elaborate kind of meals, by making it feel less weird. We had our my brother-in-law, his brother, come over. He's 17, and he ate like 5 of those tacos, and it was so funny. I'm like, that's more than I ever see him eat ever. And so I was like, maybe there's something to it.
It brings up his appetite. That's great.
I mean, it should. It's delicious. But Boo Boo 54 says, how have your spouses and families accepted the change to diets and meals? And I think that has to do with all of us. And I know that Neah answered this question, but I don't know if Cristie, have you answered this one recently?
So not recently, I don't think, or at least not on here. But so basically, my spouse supports me. Like, he's fine with it. He'll say stuff like, "Well, the whole house smells like meat," and I'm like, "Yes, and it's amazing."
Delicious.
But he's good with it. I will say he's still pretty much a standard American diet, but I've noticed he has been incorporating some more like chicken, which I wouldn't eat because he does the chicken breast. But hey, it's better than a lasagna, right? Or like salmon. So he's been doing a lot more chicken and salmon. He just still adds the standard American, side dishes with them. So I think his meat consumption is definitely gone up since I've started doing that. I don't know if that's just because I'm eating all the meat or if he's just independently doing that. My children are older. They're not little like the three of you. So I've got a 15-year-old. And then I've got a 17-year-old, and my 17-year-old turns 18 in literally less than a month, and he's in college. So I know. How did that happen? I have no child. How? You know, I can influence them by being that lighthouse or that example for them. I can't just, you know, they can, like, one of them can drive. The other one is not even like so my other one left school this morning, whatever time he leaves for school. I don't know. My husband takes him, but around 8 a.m. he left. He will not be home until 9:30 tonight because he had school, and then he had robotics club, and then he had band practice. So he's not here. Like, he can get anything he wants when he's there, you know, from the cafeteria or from wherever. It's all free to him. So I did have some success getting him to eat some ground beef the other day, and he's never really liked that before. He does have texture issues, but it is something that I'm trying to incorporate more. Hopefully they're just going to see, hey, mom has energy now. Mom is doing things now. Mom is, you know, coming to all of our things. She's able to stay up for the football game and be there and cheer. And she's not just like, nope, too late, too tired to do stuff.
That's
They
awesome.
they watched me do my 30-day sprint challenge. Like, I never would have done that before. So I know that they've seen the results of it. So all I can hope is that, like, through just me doing this example, maybe they'll get curious about it and want to try eating some more meat.
For sure. I bet they will. But Neah, there's one more question I wanted to ask you. So are there any specific self-care routines that you would like recommend, or specific strategies that you do with your diet to maintain and further enhance like your feeling of inner peace, your feeling of health, just whatever comes to mind would be great.
Sure. As far as strictly the food and nutrition carnivore goes, I have started eating breakfast recently, which is very unlike me. I mean, I don't know that I've ever been a breakfast eater. I've always just drank a lot of coffee and like, oh, I'm going to fast. And I feel like a lot of the years I felt good doing that. But I was listening to some things about a month ago, and it was talking about anxiety and how eating something in the morning actually can affect how anxious you feel, you know, if you're not just running on pure caffeine and no food in the morning. And I thought, maybe I'll try that. And so, and breakfast is kind of our family meal because my fiance works, you know, evening into the night. Or, you know, afternoon into the night shifts. And so that's kind of when we all sit down and have our family meal. And I was not even participating in that for, you know, I would just be sitting there drinking coffee. And so I thought, I'm going to start eating breakfast. So I don't eat a lot in the morning, but I'll eat like 2 or 3 pieces of bacon. I discussed this a little bit in my last video, how I'm actually doing very small meals because I'm really trying to figure out exactly how hungry I am and exactly how much I need. And I've kind of gone again into where I feel like, well, the only way to eat carnivore is to eat OMAD or to eat even, you know, in a 4-hour window or a 6-hour window. And I was always so into fasting, which I know is very beneficial and I think ultimately is good. But I think as far as, you know, getting back to understanding what my body really needs and taking good care of myself is to just say, okay, maybe just eat a little bit in the morning. And then if I'm hungry in 2 hours, I'll have a little bit of something. And I'm just really trying to see like exactly how much do I want to eat at a time that works for my digestion, that works for my energy. Because if I eat a lot at once, I find I get really tired and I'm just like, then I go straight for the coffee again. And so all these things connect. And then if I'm drinking all the coffee, then I'm kind of anxious at the end of the day and I can't get to sleep. And then, you know, I'm stressed. And so all that connects for me. So having a better nighttime routine where I'm doing my skincare, which is something I've never done in my entire life, really either been good at that, doing at night especially. So kind of changing those 2 things have really helped lately, and just getting back in touch with, you know, what is truly hungry for me, how much do I need to eat, and then taking better care of myself at night so that I can sleep better and then start the day feeling better in a cycle like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, ladies, do we have time to spin a meaty question? I know we're really coming up on this hour.
Sure.
And we have the giveaway too, but if Neah, are you
Yeah,
okay?
we'll do the giveaway after the meaty questions.
Okay, we'll spin a meaty question, and then we'll do the giveaway, and then we'll sign off if Neah's okay with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds
Okay,
good.
awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna share. Here is our wheel of meaty questions.
Yay.
And I'm gonna give that thing a spin. All right, we've hunted down a meaty question for you, Neah, and here it is. Do you have any advice for anyone who is questioning whether or not they should start a meat-based diet?
Advice for anyone questioning this. I think, yes, I think that if you are someone who has, I guess I would really, I would journal it out. I would find out why, because I think carnivore is great and I'm obviously sold on the benefits of it, but I don't think that 100% of everyone has to do this. Did it say meat-based, or I guess meat-based? So you could count,
yeah,
Ketovore, even, keto in that.
Meat-based, low
so
carb.
A little bit broader context, I would say definitely know why are you, what you're dealing with, what is bothering you, and it might not just be physical things like weight loss or skin issues or whatever. It could be, mental health things. It could be all kinds of things. And so
time.
I don't think
save
that
a lot of time.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a huge factor that I love about it. I don't think that there's any, I would say I don't think there's any danger in trying something. You can always go back to your old way of eating if you don't like it and it doesn't work for you. And so I think there's no really barrier to just giving it a shot and getting your honest opinion and feedback from your body, and then moving forward from there.
Absolutely. Awesome. Yeah, and I kind of go off of it's not what's it going to hurt to try it for a month? Just
right.
Just try eating more meat and less carbs for a month and see how your body reacts to that change. Because if I know just bodies in general, which I guess I don't always know everything about that, but if I just know my body and the people that are around me that have benefited from it, I haven't seen very many negative changes in that department, especially if they bring them down, except maybe the keto flu, because that one can be kind of sucky, but that lasts for a very short time. So
and you can prepare for that.
Electrolytes,
right.
And eating enough fat, and just making sure that you're fat adapted quicker. And slow changes are good too for certain people, and fast changes are good for certain people too, depending on what your goals are. But I'm going to bring up this giveaway tool.
All right.
For you guys. Do you see it?
Yeah, it's loading.
Take a second. Perfect. Okay. So if you can see this, if you haven't already, right now, we want you to type in the comments down below or to the side, wherever it is on your screen, and type this word, one comment. If you haven't already, we have 14 entries right now. So I don't know if we'll get any more before we end, but hopefully we'll see. Give it one more minute. Last call.
22 people are watching.
Yeah,
22 people are watching,
guys.
So that's 22 entries.
Enter if you haven't already. Just
if
type
you are the winner of the mug,
all caps is important.
I have our email address down there at the bottom. So if you are the winner, just shoot us an email at lionesslifestylelive@gmail.com with your address, so I know where to send your mug.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. We got 15.
There we go. There's 16. A couple more. Okay.
There we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's draw.
Ooh, I wonder who's going to win.
Ooh.
So exciting.
Maria Barnaby. Hi, Maria. We are so excited to send this to you.
Yes, Maria, please send us an email, lionesslifestylelive@gmail.com. just let me know your address. I will get. It won't be this mug. This one's mine. I will order you a brand new mug.
And
I
send it
love.
straight to your house.
Straight to your house, but I need your address to be able to do that.
So let's give a shout out to Neah's channel. Let me just pull that up, and so everybody can go subscribe to her.
Yeah, her channel is great. I've been enjoying her the last few days.
There we go.
There we go. I love the stars, Neah. The galaxy in the background behind your name there.
Yay, thank you. Yeah.
Become who you are. She does a lot of meal prepping videos, and I really enjoy how you deep dive on like how we might have struggles as either physically or mentally. And I feel like you really not only just dig deep, but I also feel like you're kind of writing a diary to yourself in a way that's like, and you're very vulnerable with how you share how you are living this lifestyle. And I think it's really inspiring. So everybody, please go subscribe. Subscribe.
Thank you.
Of course.
All right.
And
Well,
Maria says thank you. Maria said thank you.
Oh, awesome, Maria. I'm so happy for you to have your mug. I love mine. Thanks, everybody, for joining this week. I just wanted to remind you, after the stream ends, go to any one of our 3 channels, mine or Ellie's or Lindsay's channels, and give us a comment, because you might just be the next roar of the week. We are looking for a favorite and awesome comment to shout out next Tuesday. So please, please, we love reading your comments. Go and do that, so we can choose our roar of the week for next time.
Absolutely. Yay.
Neah, can you give us a roar on our way out? Can you give us your best roar?
Yes.
You know, that's funny. I was gonna say, do we all do that at the end, like putting all our hands in, like?
Okay, let's all do it.
You know,
Do the wave.
Dana. All right, Lindsay, you're
Thank you
usually
so
the one
much.
to sign us off.
Oh yeah, I guess I'm usually
Bye,
the one that
everyone.
ends it. Well, love you guys. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much, Neah. We have just loved having you here, and your story is just so amazing. So thank you, and thanks for everyone for being here. See you next time.
Thanks for having me,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.